Hi guys, it's me Andrea. Welcome to a new video. Today I will start sort of live following me what I'm doing, and I experiment a bit today. Easter's coming up soon, and of course you can get a lot of stuff now for Easter since a while. Of course, it's always the same, you know, with this season events. Same with Christmas. You get stuff 3 months before. So, but what I found is this natural, or what you say, organic egg dye. Don't know if this tradition is known all over the world. I don't know. So for Easter we have all this color dyed eggs. You know, you boil them in in dye. Actually, it's dye you put in the water, put the egg in and boil it so it's hard boiled, and it's getting cold, and you have it in decoration for, you know, with chocolate stuff in we call it nest, you know, with this green, looks like a nest stuffing, and we eat them, and yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with that. So what you need is, of course, a dye. You can put it in the water and boil it with the eggs, and the eggs are taken over the color. Some people paint them while they have been boiled already, or whatever you want to do, but that's a very mass production thing. Dye them in while they get boiled in the water, but most of them are chemical stuff, you know. But you can get natural dye. They are not looking that colorful, and some people don't like it, but I don't mind. I never color them or dye them or so. But what I found is this organic egg dye, and I thought there were 3 plastic bags hanging down here, and I thought, that looks interesting. Go for it and try it. It's all in English, in German, French, and Italy, because it comes from Switzerland. So I will tell you what was in there. Once that was this walnut shells, and elder concentrate ground. It's a nice color, isn't it? Love it. And sandalwood ground. So, and what it says, actually, you have to put that stuff into water, cold water, boil it, then put the eggs in, and let the eggs boil 8 to 10 minutes with this stuff, and then it will have the color. Problem is, of course, when I have to heat that up before I can use it. I don't. That's what I want to try to find out, if I can use it with cold water, if that reacts. So here I have watercolor paper, and this paper is actually normal paper, but prepared with gesso. So I want to have a look in which way or how it reacts on different surfaces, if it's reacts. So we will see. I haven't got a clue. What I will do is I will put some stuff. Let me get some spoon sort of thing. Don't want to take that much. Get that out of the way. Clean that off. The other stuff is not getting contaminated. And a bit of that sandalwood stuff. Clean it again. So, okay, what I will do now is put some water in. We'll see if that changed something. But I think I should start very carefully with only a bit. I think with this walnut cut-ups or shells will be very difficult without boiling it. Definitely. Sure about that. We'll see. Could be that it has to sit there a bit longer. Don't want to put that much water in this one's. Okay. I think I will put a bit more water on. That looks the most promising, doesn't it? So we'll put a bit more water on this one. Most promising, not more. That looks quite good color-wise. But depends on how it works, of course. So, what does it... This, I will put a bit more water on this one. Hasn't done something to the water yet. No. So on here I think, oh, it turns a bit darker. A bit more water on that. I think I have to let that sit longer, that there's a reaction actually coming up. What I will do is, I will angle that like this, that it stays in the water. Put all the rest in there. Okay, so we'll wait now a bit and we'll come up later. So that's set in here now for a while, and as you could see, this elder, for example, the concentrate in this is already doing really nice here with the color. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I think I haven't done something else to it. It's cold water. What I did with the sandalwood here is I heated it up with my heat gun, and as you can see so far, nothing really happened. So that's a failure. And it's still hot now, that's okay. Walnut, it's a bit hot here. I did the same in cold water. I already had a light brownish water here in here, and now after heating it up with my heat gun, you can see it got darker, definitely darker. So what I think best to do is really to boil it in water. I will do it as they say here on this manual, and I will, with this one I definitely will have a part of it in cold water, and the other part I will boil as well. And this is doing absolutely nothing, and a tiny bit of, it's a hint of colored water in here, but not really. So I will boil that definitely, and that I think will look absolutely dark when I boil this one. Don't know if I will take some, leave it for, I don't know yet. But I definitely will take all of them now, going up into the kitchen, and we'll see what happens when I boil it. So, but now let me do that what I wanted to do and try the outcome now at the moment with the cold water or with my heat gun heated up stuff on watercolor paper. It's a bit like the Bista stuff, isn't it? And that's on the gesso paper, as I thought, not really doing something to it. And then the elder, love that color. Oi. And I think when I boil this, that will be beautiful. You can see all this dark stuff in here. These are the residue from the grounded elder. So in here, nothing so far. It's only this residue. Yeah, that's it. But I really like this both. That's quite nice. This is nice, really. Yeah, but I'm going now and I will boil it. Okay, I boiled it now, all three of them. And the house smells great at the moment, especially this elder. Oh gosh, that smells so intensive. Okay, back to the rose, to the sandalwood. It's not rosewood, sandalwood. As you can see, of course, after boiling it, it's a bit more concentrated, but still very watery. And I concentrated it. You know, they said 1 liter with the whole amount, boil 1 liter water with the whole amount of this powder I had, but I took only 120 milliliter, I think, with half of the amount, so it's pretty much concentrated. So, and this is the result with the boiled stuff, and I must say it is a failure. This sandalwood doesn't really work. I don't know how that should work with boiled eggs. White eggs, of course, they would get a hint of color, but when you use brown eggs, useless. You wouldn't see a thing. So that doesn't work. I won't go on with that, definitely not. Because look at the difference here. And when that's dry, then it's not really different to, yeah, okay. Okay, so, doesn't matter, it was only a try. But I think this elder and the walnut, that looks, you can't see it because it's not glass, but that's pretty much concentrated. So I will use it. It looks a bit like violet, doesn't it? So, wondering what it looks like in this way. It's a bit, okay, it needs to dry. I can't tell what it will look like. In this state it's a bit more on the red side than on the violet, but I think it has to dry and then we will find out how that works. Okay, at the moment, to me it looks like that the boiled stuff looks more concentrated, definitely. Looks much darker, but the result is not really that stronger. No, actually not. Well, we'll see. Let's try it. So, but then going over to the walnut, so that's definitely more concentrated. That doesn't surprise me. So I definitely will dry that with a heat gun to fasten the whole process here. So as you can see, it is a bit different. The boiled stuff is definitely intense, more intense, and the walnut, let me try it first before I go on talking. I doubt you can hear a thing. Of course, that looks a bit more intense as well. Yeah, you can see some bits in here, but what I did after boiling it, I poured it through a coffee filter, so there are only tiny bits and bobs in. So I think I definitely will use both of them as when I work on a watercolor paper. So I will have a look what I will do with it, and I will show you the result. You know that I'm not only showing you an experiment, I definitely will go and make something with it. So see you in a minute. Okay, here I start by having a little stripe of heavy watercolor paper and use this beautiful stamp. Really like that stamp a lot, indigo blue stamp it is. And of course, print it on or stamp it on partially. That's what I wanted. This is only an experiment still with that one, but it turned out quite well. So I'm using the Elder here, and I really like the color, I must admit. It doesn't work actually exactly like watercolor, but it is really a nice alternative. And this is the walnut shell thing. To have a bit of more interest in there, I put salt on top, and after it dried I rubbed it off, and it left this nice little pattern on top, as it does on watercolor, you know, the same. I didn't like this white lines, or I left too much white space. You know, I like white space in general, but on this, especially on this bit, it didn't look good to me. So that's why I didn't use new paint, or I didn't take new paint. I only wet the parts, and that worked quite good. And I dragged the paint from the already dry stuff over, so it's still soluble enough. Bit of white dots on the butterfly, and then I go around with my Stabilo, all in it's graphite, to have a bit of a shadow. And I wanted to have this sentiment. That's one of a set of Dina Wakley, and I put out the first word, I can't remember. So it's Radiant Beauty at the end. That will be kept. And I tried a lot to get the right impression with acrylic paint. It could be a bit difficult sometimes when you have a big blob on it, you know. And I met that on black cardstock, only to leave a border right and left, not on top, because the stripe is going on the whole card, over the whole card, and only have these tiny edges right and left. And that's, I think it's not bad. At the end I had a nice card and an experiment, so I quite like that stuff, the colors and what I got out of it. But if I will go on with it, I doubt it. Too much work, and the end result wasn't that satisfying actually, but it was fun making it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I will show you at the end some pictures, and I thanks a lot for watching. I hope I see you with my next project. So have a nice time, guys. Bye bye.